What up, YouTube? So today is going to be part 4 of the Honda Civic VX K20a Euro Type R swap. And today we're going to be installing basically all the stuff that we need to get this thing started. So what we have over here is we got our cold air intake from Hybrid Racing. And then we just got to unravel all that. And then we have our Hybrid Racing conversion wiring harness. So I won't be doing no extra wiring today on this video. So it should be a pretty simple bolt-on. Looks like they just got the maybe MIL, ELD, and battery light that we have to wire up. So I think we got 3 wires. We just got to loop in and we should be good. And I think the other one might be fan. We got our radiator from K20a, and it's going to be staying on the factory side, so that's cool because we get to keep the block off plate and the front right here, so that keeps the factory looking nice. We also got our clutch line we're going to be installing, and then we have our new throttle cable, our Accord shift cables, our K20a radiator hoses and clamps, and then we got base RSX axles, which are 32 millimeter. You can't use Type S because they're 36 unless you change out your hubs. And this is just the axle. We're not using this one, but this is the half shaft. I believe it's off of a Type S. 02 to 06 will work. And then we got also over here, we got our grounds. So it's a nice ground kit from Hybrid. And we have our shifter bracket from K20a that we'll be installing. And our Hybrid Racing shifter. This is like my favorite one. They're really easy to install. All you have to do is drill for these 2 holes. And then the 2 holes are utilized from your rear stock single cam or B-series shifter. And then it just bolts up from there. And you run your cables and put the bottom shield back on. You have to take this off first, and that's it. It's really simple bolt-on. And the last thing we'll be doing is our header. So well, actually we'll be doing that kind of first, but yeah, so that's all we're going to be doing to install today. And then we got our Honda over here as well. Let me show you that with the speed sensor converter. So I'm not sure if we're gonna install that on this video, maybe the next video, so I can leave a couple things for you guys for the last part. We also got traction bars and our fuel system. I forgot about that. So we're gonna actually be putting our fuel system because we're gonna try to get a start today. So right now, I'm gonna go ahead and start with the headers actually first, since I wanna get the car on the ground so we can actually start putting the axles and everything in. So we're gonna start with headers and axles. With the half shaft, and then clutch line and throttle cable, and then we'll come back and show you what else we're going to start doing. Alright, so we are back now and we show you what we did so far. And we got our K20a headers on. They fit really good, real flush and everything down at the bottom as well. And we got our axles on, so they fit in perfect, no problems, no issues. We got our throttle cable. So that's ready. I just got to tighten that down with a 12. And then we have our clutch line as well with our slave cylinder back on. So that's good. All we have to do is bleed that. They're really easy to bleed. You just have to make sure everything's super tight, because if you have a leak, you'll be bleeding this thing forever. So make sure you tighten everything super tight. And then on the line, the kit that it comes with 2 washers. They go both right here. So the other one doesn't need a washer at all. And just need to pump it like 5 to 6 times, and then hold the pedal down, release the air. After like 2 or 3 times, it should be good. So next thing we want to start getting into, because we do want to get this car started and running by this video, so we're going to go ahead and start installing our K20a fuel system. So we have our K20a rail. We have it comes with some tools and stuff, and our fittings, our fuel pressure gauge, our fuel regulator itself, and lines, So we'll be getting ready to put all that and install that around the Type R. And then we're also going to start taking off the glove box inside, so we can actually start getting to running the conversion harness and running the actual engine harness in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and start taking this down as well, and then we'll come back. I'll show you what screws we needed to take that apart, which is really simple. So we also be running the K20a harness through there, or I'm sorry, hybrid racing on this one. So as far as this one runs, there's I'll show you where there's a clip on the side, on the driver's side. We're gonna be plugging this clip, this clip right here, this big clip, into that, and then the rest extends to the other side, which this will meet the engine harness, which is this right here. So we're gonna be running that through here, and that's why we have to take off the condenser fan, or not the condenser, the AC fan or heater fan, and to get that wiring through there. Like usually on my other videos, if you guys seen, you guys know what I'm talking about. So we're gonna run the engine harness, that way we can mate it to the ECU, and after the fuel is installed, and also our grounds. So we're also gonna install a hybrid grounds. So like I said, at the end of this video, we'll have this car running. So I'm gonna go ahead and start taking this apart as far as glove box wise and this fuel system, and we'll come back. All right, so now it's time to get to this glove box and start taking out the fan and the box that converts to the heater. Since there's no condenser in here, it's blocked off, and this car didn't come with AC at all. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is start taking off all these tins right here. There's a tin right there, there's a tin up there, there's a tin right there, and then there's just some Phillips and a tin right here. And then we have a Phillips right here to take off the shock. So we're gonna go ahead and start taking all that off right now. And then let me show you, I already went ahead and got the fuel system completed. So this one's a little different. It comes from, since we're not using an aftermarket fuel filter, we're using the stock one, so it just wraps around and to the fuel rail, right back to the regulator, and drop straight down. Really simple. And then see what else have we got done. Oh, and our ground. So got our 4 grounds. So we got 1 ground on the transmission, we got 1 ground on the intake manifold, we got our ground on the side cover over here. Can't really see it, but right there. And then our battery ground. So got those all tightened up and ready to go. So the next thing we're gonna be doing is just dropping off those boxes right now, and then we'll come back and start running the hybrid conversion harness and run the engine harness through there, so we can start tightening it all up and getting the plugs connected to the ECU. So we're gonna go ahead and do that real quick, and then we'll come back. All right, so right now I'm gonna get to the wiring portion of the conversion harness from hybrid. So I went ahead and plugged in the main C101 plug into the engine harness that I ran through from the hole up top by the fuse box. So I got that plugged in. And then we have 3 wires that they want you to tap into, which is the MIL, the check engine light, the fuel pump, and then you have the ELD, electronic load detector. So the 2 wires from the A plug, our main one, which is going to be the green and yellow, which is number 4. And then I believe this green and orange MIL will be like number 13 or something like that. And then we have plug D, which is this one, I believe. And this is the one that has the ELD, check engine light, so that's green red. So I went ahead and took those, connected those all together, so they all go to the same color, green red and green orange, and then green yellow. And then we have another wire, which is our charging light, which will give you the light on the dash if your battery's dying or anything. I went ahead and plugged that into the white plug off the engine harness, and that goes into the white and blue, so we will have a charge light. And then as far as running the other side, I'll let you guys see that where it plugs into. All right, so on this side, we have a plug up here, which is this one right here. So we just disconnected it. It's right next to the brown plug. We disconnected it, and then the other side of the harness goes into that plug. And then on this, we just have our fan switch and our coolant, and then our brake we have to run. So I'm not gonna run those right now. We're just trying to get the car to start. So just wanted to show you guys that side of the harness. And then now I want to show you guys the starter wire, which is, this is from our charge harness. So we have the charge wire right here, which I still have to connect to the fuse box. And then we have the starter that I connected it, so that's ready to crank. Other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and swap out this pulley to the K20 one, since this belt is too loose and it needs the adjuster one. So I'm gonna swap that out. And then I have to, this idle control valve needs to be stretched out a little more. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the tape off so I can extend it to the other side. And then we'll go ahead and connect the ECU so you guys can see real fast. This is actually just my personal ECU since it's already mapped up and everything. So just want to show you how it goes. So you got gray plug right here. Wait, actually upside down. So one. Camera kind of went out right now, but all right, so it's a little hard trying to do this with one hand, but got that one plugged in, and then we just need our E-plug, which is the last one. And we're gonna go ahead and plug that one in. And that's basically all we have to do as far as to get the car started for right now. We got our wires wired up. We got our E-plug wired in, our 2 engine harnesses plugged up, and then the engine harness conversion is plugged up, and it is plugged up on the other side for the body. Make sure your clips are in there really good. Right now I'm gonna go ahead and tape those wires up real fast, and then do the pulley and just check over everything real fast. Let me see if there's anything else we need to do before we start, besides connecting the battery, of course. But I believe everything besides that sensor. Oh, we got to do crank sensor real fast. So I'm gonna put a K20 crank sensor on here, and then plug that up, and we should be ready to start. First time, I believe. I haven't attempted to start it yet, so we shall see. I'm gonna go ahead and knock this out real fast, and then we'll come back. All right, so we're back, and I got my belt all tightened up with the K20 pulley, and we went ahead and put the hybrid racing intake on here for now so we can get this first start. And yeah, so we got our fuel pressure also, and we don't have no leaks, so we should be able to start this thing up. So let's go for it. First time start and first time crank, hopefully. guys, that is the first start on the K20 Type R hatch. I did not try to attempt to start this car other than what you see on video right now. So if you haven't, like, subscribe, share, comment, hit the notifications. If you need to hit me up on Instagram, it's KSeriousWorks. Stay tuned, guys. I got a lot more stuff coming, and I'll see you guys next time.